ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
It is Thursday, May 15th. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line this hour brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. They're going to get started in about an hour or so over at the Jack. We got baseball today as the Herd needing just one win to get into the conference tournament. So that action begins this weekend. And don't forget, we've got the Saturday matchup coming up. We'll have that for you right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. So Marshall right now, 28-24, 13-14 in Sun Belt play. Georgia Southern is 27-26, 13-14 in Sun Belt play. So the two are tied in the standings, and this will break that tie. Marshall can clinch its first ever Sun Belt baseball championship with just a win. That's it. All you need to know is Marshall needs to win one of three, and then Marshall will go to the tournament. We don't know seeding yet. I mean, it could be any time. That's what this is going to determine. But if Marshall can just get one win, and I feel good about it. Marshall right now at 120 in the RPI. Georgia Southern at 139. So I do feel good about Marshall can get one. This is home series. I hope you got those $3 tickets. I don't know if they're still doing them. I saw some chatter on social earlier that was still a thing. But I hope you got the $3 tickets. You can at least go to one of these games. And if you can't go, we got you covered on Saturday right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. And then we're going to have the tournament. So Marshall, whatever seed it gets, we'll have that game. If it's 10 a.m., we're going to have that game. If it's later in the evening, we'll have that game. So we've got you covered. We're going to follow the Herd all the way, hopefully, to the championship game. So looking forward to that. It's going to be interesting. We got a busy weekend. Of course, with the tournament coming up, the series are beginning today. 5 teams are in. Coastal Carolina's in. Southern Miss, Troy, Louisiana, Old Dominion, all in. So you got 7 teams that are battling for the final 5 spots, and that includes Marshall and Georgia Southern. If Marshall wins a game and Georgia Southern wins a game, both teams are going to be in. Texas State, Arkansas State, App State, South Alabama, and Georgia State all looking for one of those 5 slots. Now, most of us will be paying attention to Marshall. Across the country, the big game for the Sun Belt is number 19 Southern Miss, taking the trip to Troy, Alabama to take on 14th ranked Troy Trojans. Both have clinched top 3 seeds, but Troy could sweep Southern Miss and get themselves a number 2 seed. That's motivation right there. Coastal Carolina needs one win at Old Dominion to clinch at least a share of the Sun Belt regular season title. A series win will give it to Coastal outright. An impressive 41-11, 23-4 in Sun Belt play. So that's pretty good. This is a top league in baseball. The fact that Marshall right now could finish 16-14, could finish somewhere in between, could clinch a spot in the tournament, could be a 6 seed. That's pretty good. I'll take that any day of the week. And don't forget, baseball coming up. We'll have it for you. Conference tournament action next week. I'm looking forward to it. The voice of the Herd, Steve Cotton, going to have those games for you. So we've got you covered no matter what. Now, no baseball today for us. The Pirates are off. Yesterday, the Brewers got the better of the Guardians 9-5. Cleveland's off today. Yesterday, the White Sox ruined Pete Rose's night for the Reds 4-2. But the two teams did play earlier today, and the Reds got its revenge. It's 7-1 victory over the White Sox. If you're going to lose on Pete Rose's night, you better come back and you better have a game. And so here you are. So good job for the Reds. NBA playoffs, I don't know how many of you have been following this. I've been looking at it. I was hopeful that Boston would go out last night. But instead, the Celtics came and won. They came and won over the Knicks, 127-102. The Knicks still lead the series 3-2. Just got to get one, but Boston can get hot and win 2 and get past the Knicks. So I was hoping the Knicks would take care of business tonight or last night. Minnesota got the win over Golden State, 121-110. So the Timberwolves win that series 4-1. Stanley Cup playoffs, watching a little bit more of that. Florida made Toronto look ugly, 6-1. Panthers now lead that series 3-2. At one point, Toronto led 2-0. So Toronto is starting to fall apart. And then it had to go to overtime, but as someone pointed out to me, kind of brightened my day, hey, Las Vegas lost. Edmonton beat Las Vegas 1-0. That went to overtime. Oilers win the series 4-1. So playoff action tonight. Thunder is going to be at the Nuggets. That's going to be a 8:30 tip. Oklahoma City leads the series 3-2. Stanley Cup playoff action. Hurricanes taking on the Capitals, 7 o'clock tonight. Carolina leads that series 3-1. And then in the West, Game 5 between the Stars and the Jets. That's coming up later tonight, 9:30. Dallas leads that series 3-1. I was actually pulling for the Jets. I was happy that Edmonton won. I was pulling for the Jets to beat the Stars. Not going to be the case, it looks like. Not a fan of Hurricanes or the Capitals, but if I had to choose, I would knock the Capitals out first, only because random violence there. Just not a Capitals fan, never have been. And then the Hurricanes can get knocked out in the next round. I'll be okay with that. So still a lot of action coming up tonight across the spectrum. So if you're a baseball fan, you don't have much going on tonight, great opportunity to watch a little NBA or a little NHL. It's a great opportunity to talk to you as well, as our text line is open, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. NFL schedule's out. Big event, got to release this. Hey, here are the marquee matchups. Here are the big television games. And you have to have this whole build up to the schedule. I get it. Just give me the schedule. And so the Bengals open the season on the road in the Mistake by the Lake in Cleveland on September 7th. We'll play host to the Jacksonville Jaguars on September 14th. Cincinnati will play host to the Steelers on Thursday, October 16th. And they will travel to Baltimore on Thanksgiving Day. Cincinnati will end the regular season with some home games, Cardinals and the Browns. We'll look a little bit more at that schedule. Schedule makers never seem to really take a shine to Cincinnati. Not doing the Bengals any favors. It never feels that way. But opening up on the road at the Mistake, then you got Monday Night Football with the Broncos on the 29th, Thursday Night Football game with the Steelers, Thursday Night Football game against the Ravens, got a Sunday Night Football game against the Dolphins. The Bengals schedule considered to be the 14th hardest in the league. What do you think? I don't know. The way the Bengals are managing the roster, I never know what to think with this team. So possibly the Bengals can get a win or 2 or 10. Maybe can get into the postseason. That would be nice. We'll talk about the schedule, look at a little bit more. Also, I want to hear from you. And again, that text line's 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Some interesting news coming out of college football as well. We alluded to a little bit of this. College football playoff is pretty much going to go to 16. We just don't know what the format is. So we'll talk about that. There's a move toward eliminating buys for conference champions. Also, if you're a fan of Ohio State, there might be some legislative relief coming your way, but it's the dumbest legislation that I've heard in a long time. Surprise, surprise. We'll talk about that as well on this edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Hurt at work? Tom Boggs is here for you in Huntington, and he's brought the expertise of Warner Law Offices with him.
Call 345-6789.
Spring is finally here, and that means it's road trip season. Before you hit the highway or cruise through the countryside, make sure your car is ready for the journey. Stop by General Tire of Middleport, your trusted pit stop for fresh tires, dependable batteries, and wiper blades. Located at 465 North 2nd Avenue, they've got everything you need to keep your ride smooth, safe, and spring ready. General Tire, where spring adventures start.
Here's another Kinder Communications Community Chatter. Menards in Barboursville, serving as a drop-off site for a local Humane Society friend raiser. Humane Society looking to receive donations of many items, including food, treats, feeders, collars, beds, storage containers, mats, and much more.
This Kinder Communications Community Chatter brought to you by TaxMasters ProBooks, your tax and bookkeeping specialist. Visit TaxMastersProBooks.com. Phone 740-867-8333.
If you need to hire, it seems like the whole process can be exhausting. You search resumes, wait for the right candidates to apply, set up initial interviews. It's a lot of time and work. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates for your job the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro is super easy to use. You simply pick a time, and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Best of all, you save time and energy.
Try Zip Intro for free right now at this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today, talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Once again, go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It's the Grand Slam sales event at Ironton Automotive, and you're up to bat. Drive one out of here with unbeatable deals on winning lineups of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Slide into a new ride today with easy financing, top dollar trade-ins, and home run savings that'll have you rounding the bases in style. Don't wait, these offers won't last forever. Visit 2125 South 3rd Street in Ironton, Ohio, or online anytime at irontonautomotive.com and score big before this event heads for the fences.
Transform the look of your home with big savings at Menards. Window Images faux wood room darkening blinds at a classic design and privacy. They're available in a variety of stylish colors, white, oak, gray, and mahogany to match any decor. Plus, get them trimmed to width for free. Save big money on window treatments at Menards. And don't forget to check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
We're with Sue from Sue's Junk. Tell folks how they can sell their stuff on your parking lot.
You can sit out on the parking lot. On Wednesdays, it's free all day, $10 a spot, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
What's hot at Sue's Junk?
The top 4 things this week are Blanco glass, swung vases, uranium, and jar jewelry. It comes in every day and it goes out every day.
Sue's Junk and Antique Mall, 459 Camden Road in Huntington.
If you're looking for the best spot to enjoy a drink this spring in Barboursville, or maybe the entire region, it's Kerber Beer Company on Brady Street next to 1861 Public House. Their Brady Street Beer Garden is the perfect place to sip a craft beer, cocktail, or glass of wine outside in the sun. Plus, there's great food, live music, and good vibes. Can't make it to the tap room? Kerber Beer is on tap at more than 25 locations. And if your favorite spot doesn't have it, just ask for it. Kerber Beer Company, from our village to your glass. KerberBeer.com.
Listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
We carry on with this edition of The Drive. Our text line brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. I saw this story earlier about Ohio State and want to share it with you because it's got to be some of the dumbest thing I've ever seen come out of Ohio. I know there's some jokes there, but still, this has got to be some of the dumbest legislation coming out of the Buckeye State. This has got to be some of the dumbest things, period, in politics. By now, you know that Fox has really made a push to make the 12 p.m. time slot a big deal. You've got Fox's Big Noon Saturday, primarily Big Ten games, right? We're making it big. We're making the noon kickoff a big thing. Well, if you're Ohio State, you're playing a lot in that 12 o'clock time frame. That hasn't set well with Ohio State fans. That hasn't set well with Buckeye fans. I don't know. What's the problem? Yeah, you missing out on tailgating? What's the deal here? So, with noon kickoffs being a bad word in Columbus, Representative Tex Fisher introduced a bill which would bar Ohio State schools from top 10 matchups before 3:30 p.m. unless it's a traditional rivalry. Obviously, we're talking Ohio State and Michigan. The bill, which is squarely aimed at Fox's Big Noon Saturday, includes, are you ready for this? A $10 million fine for violations. Now, I don't think this is going to become law, but if it does, there's a lot of stupidity going on in the state of Ohio. Why are we involved in this? And this isn't just an Ohio bill for Ohio State. This is a bill that would impact all the schools in Ohio. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to have Bowling Green in the top 25 anytime soon, taking on like a top 25 Akron. That's not going to happen. It could. What if Ohio and Bowling Green were in the top 25? It would impact them. But if you're in the top 10, you're top 10, both teams. And we're thinking about, okay, Ohio State, usually in the top 10. A lot of the teams in the Big Ten, for the most part, usually in the Big Ten. But Fox wants to have the 12 p.m. time slot be significant. And so it became the focal point of its programming and its efforts to make a mark in college football. It's a perfect time slot for a lot of people. If you're going to tailgates, for example, there are a lot of people that have the TV set up. There are a lot of people who just spend all day watching college football. They don't necessarily go to games, but they'll watch college football all day. And so here it is. You've got a prime spot. Hey, let's put one of our biggest matchups every week in this 12 p.m. slot. But you're trying to avoid competition. You know, you don't want to have big games at 7 p.m. go up against big games. You try to tier these things a little bit. And so you're trying to avoid the big matchups from the SEC. And I get that. It's been a success so far for the network. But now you have Ohio State, always one of the best teams in the Big Ten, right? And the season opener with Texas already got gobbled up. Now, Fisher is from District 59. That's just south of Youngstown. And the fine would go toward Fox or the Big Ten if they would schedule a top 10 matchup for Big Noon. So we have someone who's trying to make a crime out of scheduling a football game at 12 o'clock because apparently the time inconveniences a lot of Ohio State fans. What if every state decided to do this? What if this went through and then every state decided to do this and we would just kill the whole college football at 12 p.m. phenomenon? I dare to think what would actually happen if we get lawmakers involved in the actual time scheduling of games. Well, you can't play those games before 3:30. They have to be played at 3:30 or later. You can't play those games at noon. Absolutely not. And where do we stop? Like top 25, top 15? Like, okay, if you're top 10, that's the standard. Well, what if Ohio State's a top 15 team? And all of a sudden, Tex can't make it to the game because, I don't know, he overslept. After all, he's just south of Youngstown. He's got to drive down to Columbus that morning and watch the game, obviously. He's not watching the Youngstown State Penguins by any stretch of the imagination here. Is this just the dumbest use of political capital? Is this what we want? And I'm not surprised it came out of Ohio. Is this what we want? Do we want the legislature dictating scheduling times? After all, a lot of people lost their collective minds when the governor interfered with the scheduling and put Marshall and West Virginia on the schedule for each other. A lot of people lost it. Just absolutely could not stand that was something. And for some states, yeah, they have to force schools to play. And other states, they don't mind that the schools don't play, being one in particular, West Virginia and Marshall. No, they don't have to play. But now we're getting to the point where we're legislating times, not games, times. Where we go from here. And then, of course, college football playoff is close to eliminating the automatic first-round buys for conference champions. And instead, the top 4 teams and the college football playoff rankings will be rewarded under a new straight seeding model. So that's gaining some support. And the structure could be basically thrown out the window if the college football playoff administrators approve the change in the coming weeks. And there is some hangups here because also the SEC and Big Ten, imagine that, are pushing a 16-team model for 2026 with 4 automatic qualifiers each. So the SEC would get 4 teams, and then the Big Ten would get 4 teams. So that's 8 right now of your 16. And then ACC would get 2. The Big 12 would get 2. And all of a sudden, you've got the ACC, and I'm sure the Big 12, I know the ACC basically is saying, oh, what are you talking about here? If you want to stack the deck, 3 to the SEC, 3 to the Big 10, 3 to the ACC, 3 to the Big 12. That's 12 right there. You have 4 left. Auto bids are stupid. If you're going to reward someone, you reward someone by giving their team that won a conference championship an automatic berth. The conference champion. I'm okay with that. This is going to fall apart because the SEC and the Big Ten just think, you know what? It's not really the Power 4. It's the Power 2. Absolutely Power 2 here. You guys can be in this as well. And then, of course, if you're Marshall, you even have a chance at this thing? How's that work? Got to be conference champion. Okay, you got to be ranked in the top 12 now, top 16. How's that going to work? Highest ranked team, we're going to do that still. I still believe that every conference should get 1 bid, and then every other team that gets in is an at-large. Absolutely. I know there's probably some pushback right now because you get 4 power schools getting the top 4 spots, and they want more, and they think that, well, you know, the Marshalls of the world not going to win this thing anyway, and everyone's watching for Ohio State and Georgia and Alabama. Texter says, Paul, lawmakers need to stay out of sports. Sports time should be decided in the best interest of the schools and athletes. Absolutely. I appreciate the text. The athletic directors already have sold those times. It's television that's controlling this. It's not the athletic director sitting in their office, feet up on the desk, the notepad going, okay, you know, what makes best sense for our fans? What's going to be the best time for our fans to travel, to come to the game? Feel like, you know, what's the day? Is it going to be cold in the winter months or November? You know, okay, so maybe we're going to have those games a little earlier, you know, and earlier in the season we could have those at night maybe. What's going to work? Hey, what's best? Because after all, we did shuffle times for basketball to accommodate people who are taking their kids to sporting events on that Saturday. Me, I would say what makes sense schedule-wise is what makes sense. But when it comes to football, television's going to come in. Now, how much of that problem is going to be at Marshall compared to, say, Ohio State? Television's going to come in and say, look, noon, that's your kickoff. We'll see you. We'll see you on Saturday. And Marshall, the majority of these games were streaming games. So the time really doesn't matter to me. If it's a streaming game, the time doesn't matter to me because you are only scheduling for live at that point in my mind. There's not a primetime stream schedule yet. We're not at that point. As far as I'm concerned, if you're not on one of the major platforms for your game at this moment, and that could change in the future, but if you're not on one of the major platforms right now, you schedule for what makes the best sense for your fans, for the team, for the student athletes. You make the schedule as fan and team friendly as possible. But with television coming in, television is going to set the times. And that's the case here. Television is setting the times for Ohio State. And so now we're going to have lawmakers getting involved with junk legislation, a $10 million fine, really? $10 million fine to Ohio State and the Big Ten. How do you think the league would respond? Like, okay, we will then put you on the worst television network we can find in our partnership, and we'll give you the worst time we can, if we can. I don't know. I would be vindictive. If I'm the league commissioner, I'm associate commissioner, if I'm television exec, I'm like, okay, I'll get you. I'll do something then. I'll find a way. Absolutely junk legislation. I can't believe we're actually seeing this. Well, you know what? Sure, of course I can. Of course I can believe this. What am I talking about? Absolutely. It doesn't mean you're a bright individual if you get elected. I think that's fair to say. Not everyone that has been elected is a bright individual. What does that say? 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. More coming up on today's edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Save big money on your entire roofing project at Menards. Your roof is the first line of defense against the elements and represents up to 40% of your home's exterior. Owens Corning Architectural Shingles offer ultimate protection and impressive curb appeal. Choose from over 40 options and save big money on all Owens Corning shingles now at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
If you're looking for the best spot to enjoy a drink this spring in Barbersville, or maybe the entire region, it's Kerber Beer Company on Brady Street next to 1861 Public House. Their Brady Street Beer Garden is the perfect place to sip a craft beer, cocktail, or glass of wine outside in the sun. Plus, there's great food, live music, and good vibes. Can't make it to the tap room? Kerber Beer is on tap at more than 25 locations. And if your favorite spot doesn't have it, just ask for it. Kerber Beer Company, from our village to your glass. KerberBeer.com.
The soundtrack to your summer is back. Mount West 9th Street Live, downtown Huntington's favorite Friday night tradition, presented by Michelob Ultra and White Claw. Kick off the summer Friday, May 16th. It's K&B Pest Control Night with Brad Goodall on the Marshall OBGYN stage. The Little Caesars Kids Zone is back, and Go-Mart Happy Hour starts at 5. Enjoy food and drinks from the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe, Sip Downtown Brasserie, and Summit Beer Station. Mark your calendar for next Friday, May 23rd for the Hooligans Homecoming Pre-Party. June 6th, 9th Street is Dead, featuring John Ingram's Dead Center and the music of the Grateful Dead. The Thundering Herd Rally is Friday, August 15th. 9th Street Live is driven by University Ford and built by Cardinal Roofing. Every Friday night through Labor Day, 9th Street in Huntington between 3rd and 4th Avenues. Sponsored by Delta Hotels, Wendy's, Mountain Mindful, City of Huntington, Marshall University, Blinko Glass Company, Marshall Health Arena, and Kindred Communications. This Friday, it's Brad Goodall at Mount West 9th Street Live.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-960-3377. That's 800-960-3377. 800-960-3377.
Hey, get in. What? Who are you? I'm future you. Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Yeah. Mia, our doctor figured it out. She said it's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer.
When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Follow at Paul Swann on X for Marshall sports updates and more.
Welcome back to this Thursday edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line this hour brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop, 304 396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Baseball action, top of the hour. Thundering Herd getting set for its final regular season Sun Belt Conference Series, playing host to Georgia Southern. That starts at 6 o'clock tonight, Jack Cook Field. Don't forget, we're going to have that Saturday game for you on the radio right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. A lot of things have happened. Let's try to get through all of them as we possibly can. I don't know if you saw this. The Board of Education in West Virginia approved the new 4-class system for the WVSSAC sports season starting in 25-26. So here is the deal. If your enrollment is 350 or less, you're Class A. If your enrollment is 351 to 624, you're Class AA. If you have an enrollment, if your school has 625 students, all the way up to 1,049, you are a AAA school. And then if you look at your numbers and see that your school has 1,050 or more, you're Quad A. And it's not based on any other formula. It's enrollment. That's it. That's the formula. Now, I still like the Fred Persinger model. I remember he suggested this. He was on with us a while ago. And he said, hey, look, just take the enrollment, since we're talking football. And now, of course, this applies to cheer, football, volleyball, basketball, baseball, softball. He suggested, and I like the idea, take the boys' enrollment and figure it up that way. Go by boys' enrollment, because we're talking football. Football's the biggest sport. So if you've got, say, 400 students, but you only have like maybe 160 boys or so, I mean, maybe you need to be Class A. I don't know what's going to make everyone happy, but this seems to be the closest we can get so far to that. So new system approved starting in 25-26. Huntington High would be Quad A, as we suspected. If you look at some of the numbers, and again, Huntington's going to be Quad A, Cabell Midland's going to be Quad A. That include Martinsburg. Hurricane's going to be Quad A. Just going down the list of immediate area here. Spring Valley would be AAA, 900 and believe 85, still well under the threshold there. So Spring Valley is going to be 3A. If you look at some of the schools that are going to be AA, that includes Wayne, that includes Poca, that includes, let's see, I'm sure I'm missing somebody. Lincoln would be there as well. And single A, of course, Tulsa. And again, this isn't a complete list, but there are a lot of schools that are probably going to be happy with where they ended up. Huntington High, it's 1,661, I think, is the head count. Morgantown's the biggest school. If you look at 24-25 head count, Morgantown's the biggest, followed by Musselman and then Huntington High. Martinsburg is probably sixth if you look at these numbers. I think this is a little bit more of a fair adjustment. Total enrollment figures 9 through 12. That's it. Nothing else. There's not going to be any other modifiers, metro area, any of that. That's what a lot of schools had issue with, and so here are the numbers. I don't think that we need 4 classifications, to be fair and honest about this. I think 3 would be enough. That is just me, but this does give more opportunity for more schools to get into the postseason. I just think there needs to be some sort of adjustment here, because if you're a Quad A school, pretty much almost everyone gets in. Almost everyone gets in. Now, on the flip side of that, if you're like Huntington High, you go and schedule some really tough opponents. Jack that difficulty up a lot and absolutely get ready for the playoffs. Great strategy by Billy Seals. Let's just go out and be difficult here. Let's not go out and play the easiest schedule we can, because we're going to get dinged for it anyway. We could go 8-2, and we're going to probably we're going to get dinged. Let's make this tough. I like it. We got one final break to hit, so let's go ahead and get that in now, and then we'll open up the rest of the way for you. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. That's our number to be a part of today's edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Spring is here. Clear that pollen and debris with Thoroughbred Express Wash. New members, your first month of unlimited washes is just $10. Any package, anytime. Want the best? Try the Secretariat Wash. Now with Graphene X, advanced technology that protects your car like high-tech armor. Fewer washes, better shine, and long-term paint protection. Plus, enjoy complimentary amenities every time you visit. Join the winner's circle with Thoroughbred Express. Get started at thoroughbredexpress.com.
Ladies, prioritizing your health starts with Marshall OBGYN. From screening exams to disease prevention to management of reproductive problems, our team offers a complete range of services for women of all ages. Thinking about growing your family? Marshall OBGYN's physicians are experienced in providing you the support you need for normal or high-risk pregnancies in a friendly, family-oriented environment. Learn more at marshallhealth.org/OBGYN.
Hi, I'm Nori, and over the years, my mother and I have opened our homes to those who need it most, and it's been so rewarding. I bet you didn't know that some adults who have unfortunately been mistreated need a place to call home in West Virginia. It happens more than you know. They may have some physical or mental limitations, and they need your help. Everyone deserves a place to call their own. I can tell you from my experience, it's worth it.
If you have an open heart and want to open your home, adult family care may be the right fit for you. Call the Department of Human Services and ask to speak to an adult family care home finder at 304-269-6820. Sponsored by the West Virginia Department of Human Services, the West Virginia Broadcasters Association, and this station. This project is supported by the Administration for Community Living, ACL, of the United States, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, as part of a financial assistance award totaling $1,227,345, with 100% funded by ACL HHS. The contents are those of the authors and do not necessarily represent the official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL HHS or the U.S. government.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit. 800-960-3377. That's 800-960-3377. 800-960-3377.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
How was your day? What did you do in school? I'm Dale Lee, president of the West Virginia Education Association, and these 2 simple questions can encourage learning in your home. Showing interest and asking about the school day can help motivate your children and keep them excited about learning. So stay involved, stay curious, and ask specific questions. Student success involves the whole family.
A message from the West Virginia Education Association.
This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Miss an episode? Catch it anytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Final segment for today's edition of The Drive, but plenty of time for you and our text line, brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop at 304-396-TALK. 304-396-8255. Did you see the release yesterday that the Tri-State Cold Cats have finally caved in? Now, okay, I'm not going to lie to you. I just say half a building away from the folks in our building that make those decisions, so I knew it was coming. And I've been hounding certain members of our management team as well. Like, you got to do this. I'm not taking credit for it, but I have been vocal. The Tri-State Cold Cats will be playing as the Huntington Slaw Dogs during Saturday home games this summer. And the jerseys will be of a Slaw Dog design. And, of course, our friends at Smith Midway also will be on hand to serve Slaw Dogs during those Saturday night games at Jack Cook Field. Now, if you order a hot dog with coleslaw on it, you're welcome, because I was in a couple of offices saying, look, if you're going to do slaw dogs, I better be able to get a slaw dog at the ballpark or I'm going to have problems with this. Again, not taking full responsibility for this, but I will claim that I was rattling a few cages. Now, how cool is this? I always felt that Slaw Dogs was a great name. I saw it go viral on social, and okay, that's fun, because after all, Huntington's been called many of things, most obese city in the country, and a few others, but also the hot dog capital of the state of West Virginia could be added to that. So if you're known for being the hot dog capital of the state, and if Huntington's not known as the hot dog capital of the state, I am declaring it the hot dog capital of the state, then you got to have Slaw Dogs as a team name. So here it is. I'm hoping that these jerseys are popular. I'm hoping that these are really jam-packed nights, and we can see more of the Slaw Dog motif at Huntington Cold Cat games. So that's pretty cool that it came out yesterday. And I'm telling you what, that's the fun of minor league baseball. You can't do that at a Marshall baseball game. You can't be, even though the April Fool's joke was funny, the Thundering Squirrels, and I love that. You can't actually come out. Maybe you could. I don't know. You can't have like Thundering Squirrels night. Can you? Maybe I need to talk to marketing on that one. You could have Thundering Squirrels night. Come out in alternate uniforms, coming out in the Thundering Squirrels jersey. But yeah, you can't have like the Slaw Dogs, or you can't come out as maybe the Tri-State or Huntington Mothmen or something like that to play into some of those alternate jerseys. I would love to see that. More fun, because again, it's minor league baseball. It's supposed to be fun. You could have some of those alternate takes just for a special night. Sell the jerseys, auction the jerseys, maybe go to charity. That'd be something I would look into as well. But I'd have a different theme and addition. Like Saturdays are Slaw Dog Saturdays. Okay, Huntington Slaw Dogs play on Saturdays, and you get Midway hot dogs as well. And don't even get me started. We're not going to do hot dog I'm not going to do hot dog rankings, because last time I did hot dog rankings, I made everybody mad. I made a few people mad with my hot dog rankings the last time I did that, and I think that was at least, looking at the calendar today here, it is 2025. I think that was 13, 14 years ago. I did hot dog rankings, and everyone involved and all the hot dog vendors, a lot of them got mad because of where I ranked them. So I'm not doing that anymore. You can do that, and I'll read them, but I'm not doing that. But we thank our friends at Midway. I love Midway hot dogs. Some of my favorite hot dogs in Huntington. I go to Midway. I get those all the time when you just want to do something quick but good, and you get the slaw on them as well. I don't know what your favorite is, but I'm pretty simple. Just give me a good hot dog. Give me the sauce. Give me mustard. I have to remove it for others, but give me sauce, mustard, and the slaw, and I'm good. Absolutely. I don't need any extra. I don't need onion or any of that stuff. Just give me the mustard, the sauce, the slaw. I'm good. Might not be your preferred method, but it is mine, and I'll tell you what, Midway makes some really good hot dogs. Thinking of that, I might have to order some tonight. Now that I've started talking about the slaw dogs, I might have to go get some slaw dogs. Back tomorrow here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930 as we get you set for the weekend. If the Thundering Herd wins tonight, it is in, and it will be going next week to the conference tournament. If Marshall does not win tonight, we'll have to wait another day for the Herd to clinch a spot. So Big game tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday. Don't forget, we'll have that Saturday game right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We're done. We're out of here. Back tomorrow. Don't forget, if you missed anything today or anytime, you can go back and listen to it. It's available on our podcast. That's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or just wherever you get your podcasts, and I'll make it even easier for you. Head on over to our website now, WRVC.com. You can link there, subscribe there. You can play it from there. You can also download the app from there, and it's free. And you can have the podcast in the streaming app as well. Make it easy for you. Have a great night, everyone. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Broadcasting from the Dave & Buster's studios. Eat, drink, play, and watch at Dave & Buster's in the Huntington Mall. ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. WRBC, W231BS Huntington.